Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Casting stars today, broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome into Newhouse Afternoon. Drew Alba alongside Timmy Weiss entering the fold here on a Thursday, here until 4 p.m. filling in for Milo Hoffman.
It's been a while, Drew. Yeah, I haven't been back since last year, so very glad to be on, talking a lot of Syracuse sports today. A whole lot of New York sports as well. I mean, it's a big day in sports, Drew.
Heck yeah, we got to go all around the bend. We got Sabres to talk about, a big one. I know you're kind of a little bit of a Bruins guy.
I'm a bit of a homer with the Bruins, so apologies for any Sabres fans out there today, but huge matchup for Sabres and Bruins. We'll get into that later in the show.
You might ruffle some feathers there.
I might. It's possible. That's a fair warning.
Warning. Of course, Yankees Mets always roll on, but there's the Knicks, another playoff game tonight, couple of playoff sports, and then of course we got to get into the sports here on the Hill. Men's hoops continue to make moves, and of course Syracuse men's and women's lacrosse, both, ACC tournament in full swing. For the women's side, got its first victory against Virginia. And on the men's side, just one game left in the regular season, and it seems appropriate. We'll start off with that. Against top-ranked Notre Dame.
Right. It doesn't get any easier. This team, every single game they play is really tough.
Really.
That's just
Except
the
for,
nature
honestly,
of the
the Colgate game, and even that one had some allure behind it because of Joey's big point total. But
and even it got close a little bit in that one. So every game
it was
you
2
play.
or 3 goals. Yeah. But this is an interesting one, Timmy, because very rarely do you play a team in Notre Dame here where there is then a 50% chance that Syracuse will play Notre Dame again the following week in the ACC tournament. It's almost like, do you show all your cards in that first matchup? It's something interesting you have to go with.
I think you have to, right? Because you have to go with your best, and they're the #1 team in the country, and it's in Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Syracuse hasn't won in South Bend since 2017. Yeah. So it's not going to be an easy game at all, and if you want to win the game, you have to play your best across.
Just the argument is...
You have a point there, right?
The regular season's the regular season, right?
Right, and the ACC tournament is more important.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you can step down. I think it's just about making the adjustments in the next game if that does happen.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to head coach Gary Kate just a couple hours ago as I look at my fake watch on my left wrist here for media availability, and asked him a similar question, right? Look, Gary, you could play Notre Dame a couple times in a week here. Does the game plan change at all? And he gave a little chuckle and a laugh and said, no, obviously we're going game by game here, but you do take into account the fact that whatever happens in this game is going to dictate the next one. So you go into the mentality, we're going to win this one. This is the most important game because it's the game in front of us. You hear that coach speak a lot. The regular season ACC title is still at stake for the non-tournament, just the regular season. So that's another feather to put in their cap, I guess.
And Syracuse did win the ACC tournament last year
after losing 2 in the regular season to end the year.
And also after beating Notre Dame in the regular season and beating them in the first round of the ACC tournament.
Yeah.
So they had some success last year against them.
Right.
They just got to continue that success. And it's a good sign that they played them, they beat them, and then they won again. And Notre Dame was the #1 seed in the ACC tournament last year. Syracuse could end up as the 4 seed as well in this year's ACC tournament. So you never know the combination that's going to happen and how it goes out. But it is interesting that the same situation as last year could happen again.
Yeah, it very is. Because this Syracuse team still so much to play for. When you look at the NCAA, Syracuse's ticket is all but officially stamped, which is obviously great. That's what you set out to do. Give yourself a chance to dance at the end of the year.
But it's not guaranteed that they're going to play at home yet.
No, not guaranteed they're going to play
really
at home.
Important.
And you're trying to, if you're trying to match up with not an Army, for example, and Army's a team that you could play out of the Patriot League that if Syracuse loses in round 1 of that ACC tournament, you could very easily get matched up against an Army in week 1, right? And that's not the way you'd love to start out the NCAA tournament. So,
and even if Syracuse was to lose to Notre Dame, and then they lose to Notre Dame again in the ACC tournament, or whoever they end up playing, then Syracuse might not host a game.
Right.
Very, very possible.
And the Orange have played so well at home.
Yeah, undefeated at home.
So it's a big difference.
It absolutely
it really
is.
It's not just something you can kind of throw up in the wind and say, it doesn't matter where we play. No, Syracuse has shown that this season in the Dome, the Orange play their best lacrosse. So I think this is a big one, yes, but the big one, of course, is in a couple of weeks. This is a Notre Dame team that is lights out defensively, allowing just 8 goals a contest. That's the best in what is already a really good ACC. Thomas Ricciardelli, its goalie, is wow. He is something to behold.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
And funny enough, he's been even better recently. I mean, you talk about the defense, which is excellent, but recently, Ricciardelli, he had a 76.2 save percentage against the number 1 team in the country, North Carolina. That was when they played North Carolina, took them down, and stole the number 1 spot.
Right, and only allowed, 5 goals?
Only allowed 5 goals.
Yeah, that's crazy. Against North Carolina,
which Syracuse saw that North Carolina team. They scored 14 goals.
Right, Petramala scored 5 by himself.
Exactly, and Syracuse really didn't have much of a chance. Syracuse has a great defense.
No, sir.
But they had no chance.
No.
Notre Dame shut them down. And last time out against Duke, he had a 73.9 save percentage. So he's been an absolute I mean, those are ridiculous numbers, Drew.
Yeah.
And those are 2 great teams. And you could argue that he single-handed, at least against Duke, it was a 5-goal win over UNC. But against Duke, they won by 1 goal. He arguably won them that game.
Right, because it's 7-6, the end scoreline there, where the Orange won a tight one against Duke, but that was
also 1 goal, 16-15, right?
So that was
totally different
a completely different game, where Syracuse relies a little bit more on its offense. I think Notre Dame's defense is what the Fighting Irish lean on. If you had to boil it down, I think it's, can Syracuse's offense pelt Ricciardelli enough? If you get to double digits, I think you're confidently in a good spot to win that game.
I would agree. I think the double-digit mark is where Syracuse needs to get. There's actually a stat, Drew, that Syracuse is undefeated when they score more than 13 goals.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's going to be tough, right?
But even Notre Dame 10 or 11. Virginia, for example, the one loss that Notre Dame has this whole season, it was only 11 goals the Cavaliers scored, but it was just enough to get them over the hump, an 11-9 victory. You look at all the other games, right? Duke, North Carolina, Richmond, Michigan. We're talking about ranked teams could not get double-digit points or double-digit goals against.
And Syracuse's defense is the anchor of the team. That's pretty much been a constant all season.
I think the motor is the offense.
I think that's the X factor.
Right.
Is the offense. If the offense is cooking, which it has been recently. I mean, you had 14 goals against Colgate, and you've had 14 or more goals in 4 of your last 5 games.
The one, of course, the North Carolina one.
Exactly, which, pretty good team, North Carolina over there in Chapel Hill. But if the Orange offense is cooking, it has to be at its best against this Notre Dame defense. That could be the difference in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to behold for sure. And it goes back to Joey Spallina too. I hate to say it, but this offense goes as far as Joey Spallina takes it. And when teams have had success against Syracuse, North Carolina, Princeton, Harvard, it was shutting down Spallina. So I think he had 1 point in the Harvard game, and he had 0 against North Carolina and
Princeton.
And against Princeton.
And
you see the results.
It's pretty crazy that also those are the 3 losses this season, right?
Right.
It is concerning, right, that Joey Spallina has to show up in these big games. Although I do want to caution that. I think he totally has that ability, and he showed that.
He's shown that.
Last year in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament against Princeton.
And just to be fair, in the semifinals he then struggled. So it's kind of a
the hit or miss right now, right?
Yeah.
And you need to hit if you want to beat these great teams and if you want to win a national championship. Right?
And this is the year, right?
It is the year, right? All
Hayden
the cards.
Anderson and Wyatt Hoddle and all those guys are great. Bo Kahn, but if you really...
That's senior class, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't replace Leo and Spallina and Thompson and Roa all in one year. It's impossible. And I had a chance to talk to Wyatt Hoddle, actually, surprisingly enough. And I asked him how it is to play in this offense where he's no discredit to Wyatt Hall, but he's not the focus point of the defensive game plan. And he said,
he's still
man,
gotten some production this season.
He's great.
Yeah.
He said it feels awesome to not have to dodge once and still score 2 or 3 goals.
That's funny, yeah.
It's just an offense.
Take some of the pressure off for him.
Right. He does not. It's so littered with talent that Spalina is the focus, and even Michael Leo, who is a top 10 pick in the PLL draft, right? He would be the focus on 99% of any D1 teams in the country. But with Spalina there, it takes some of that pressure off of Michael Leo to go do his thing.
And it's caused him to be a stud recently. 6 points against Colgate last time out. 5 goals.
Some of them assisted by Joey Spalina.
A lot of them assisted by Spalina.
Right. He finishes with 5 assists and 2 goals. So this is an offense that's just so deep. But when all is said and done, if Spalina struggles, it has proved to be challenging for Syracuse.
Leo and Thompson have the ability to step up, but I don't think they have the ability to do it
I don't
put
think
Syracuse
they're the
over the
playmaker
edge.
that Spalina is. I don't think they're the playmaker.
Oh no, I don't think anyone would argue with that.
Right.
That Spalina's, of course, one of the best playmakers in the country, maybe the best.
Yeah,
and that is where Syracuse's offense is at its best, when Spalina is playmaking and when he's at X. And it was actually interesting that Michael Leo played a little bit at X against Colgate. They're kind of changing it up a bit.
Yeah.
And it actually worked at times, but that's against Colgate. So I don't know if it's going to be the same formula that works against
Colgate. It's hard to take any stock in the Colgate game.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally, yeah.
Right, it's Colgate. They looked good, but at the end of the day, I think that one was meant to put Joey's point record on a pedestal, and I think that's exactly what happened.
It's almost like they knew that would be the game. Yeah, let's get this easy game at the end of the season so Spalina can break the record.
Just matches up. Of course, he doesn't have a point against North Carolina, so it ends up getting there. The Syracuse...
Maybe he did it on purpose. Who knows?
Right.
He wanted to do it after Dome.
The Syracuse lacrosse team wrapping up its schedules. Drew Outball alongside Timmy Weiss. One last game for the Orange this weekend against #1 Notre Dame. Not exactly the easiest of opponent this Saturday. And then the ACC Championship, as they deem it, which is the ACC tournament, as everyone else that's regular likes to call it. The semifinals next Friday, May 1st. The final will be on Sunday. That is in Charlotte. Syracuse has struggled on the road, so we'll have to see how that plays into it. Quickly shifting things over to the women's side, we got to talk about both.
Excellent this season.
Yeah, and talk about Charlotte. That's where the women's team is right now. Got after a loss to Boston College, where the Orange's offense was absolutely shut down, and Boston College
4 goals fewest this season.
Crazy. Yeah. Continues its domination over Syracuse over the last few years. Syracuse responds with another win against Virginia, 2-0 against the Cavaliers this season, and now advance. So we'll have to see what happens with Syracuse. But at this point, 1 win, and I think you're confidently not only in the tournament, you're looking pretty good.
They're definitely going to make the NCAA tournament, and they most likely will be
hosting.
Yeah, they're going to be a top 10 seed,
especially if you make it close here.
Because they're number 6 in the country right now, and I mean, no one is expecting them to beat #1 North Carolina in the next round of the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Don't even get me started with that UNC team. You could go on and on about Chloe Humphrey and how good she is with 8 points per game.
I don't see a way they win this one.
I agree. I
really
with you,
don't.
Drew. I think they have to play the best game of their season.
And I guess it's possible. You're going to have to win a close, gritty game, right, where North Carolina makes a lot of mistakes. You fight and try to get a 50% draw percentage, where Syracuse has struggled.
Danny Guyette has to have an awesome game in that.
Guyette's got to play well. The dots got to go in your favor. This one's gravy for me. I do. I think that the expectations, obviously, is Syracuse wins every game. That's, the standard here on the Hill. But at the end of the day, North Carolina is North Carolina.
They're in a different level,
I think
a different league.
They're in a different tax bracket right now than Syracuse.
Maybe Maryland as well, maybe Northwestern. I mean, Syracuse beat Northwestern earlier this season, but you do have to remember, Syracuse earlier this season when they played North Carolina was up at halftime. So they have shown they can compete with them at least.
It'll be a contest for sure.
I just think that the firepower that the Tar Heels possess is beyond what Syracuse
for sure.
has on their roster, really.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The other side of the bracket, Stanford and Clemson. I mentioned that because Stanford destroyed Boston College 14-7.
Pretty wild, right? After Boston College totally dealt with Syracuse, 7-4.
It's crazy how this
BC
game
had
works.
beat Stanford earlier in the season, and they lose by 7. So I think that's one thing that you got to keep in mind is that women's lacrosse this year has kind of been a wild card. A lot of teams are winning that you don't always expect. Anything can kind of happen as you're getting into the postseason.
Yeah, women's lacrosse is like my grandmother's, candy jar. You reach in and
you don't know where you're gonna get.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You could get some candy that's been in there for 20 years and it breaks your teeth while you try to bite on it.
Wouldn't be good. Yeah.
Not good. Or you get like an Oreo or something, mix it in there. I mean.
Oreo's candy now?
Takes me back. It was kind of a mix, like a cookie candy situation.
Had all of it.
You really don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
So, Syracuse plays North Carolina tomorrow in Charlotte. That's a 5 p.m. first draw. It's number 4 seeded Syracuse versus number 1 seeded North Carolina. So, talk about strength of opponents for both teams.
They're getting it in.
Yeah, the men's team number 1 Notre Dame on tap, and Syracuse number 1 North Carolina. Quick score predictions, Timmy.
I'm going to go Syracuse in men's lacrosse takes down Notre Dame.
Okay, I like it.
11-10.
Okay.
But in women's lacrosse, the Orange are going to fall 14-9.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to go a little bit more negative, but I'm going to caveat it with I think Syracuse is going to beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship.
Okay, so you think they're going to make some adjustments.
Right.
And win.
I think it'll be a close game, 1-goal loss against Notre Dame, but I think the Orange then might use that and build up some game plan, and we'll have to see what happens against Notre Dame or North Carolina in that first round. But that's my prediction for the men's side. And the women's side, it's going to be tight. I think Syracuse doesn't get it done. It's low scoring, maybe 8-6, 8-5. I don't think the Orange's offense is just quite there yet.
Yeah, against that North Carolina defense. I mean, really, the North Carolina offense for me is what stands out. I don't know if Syracuse or any team in the country can
Syracuse's
stop
offense stands out in a bad way.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
They did look solid against
Their
Virginia
defense,
the
though,
other
I
day.
think might be the best in the country. So it's
up there for sure.
Right. Drew Alba alongside Timmy Weiss here on Newhouse Afternoon. Just about 17 minutes through with you guys, so still plenty of time to talk, plenty of ball up until 4. And after this break, we're going to switch it up from the field. I want to talk a little bit of men's hoops here on the Hill. Don't go anywhere on Newhouse Afternoon. Bang.
Cool.
Thank you.
Stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good to
right back on the bike, too.
Dude, it feels like I'm back to talk games, bro.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. We got that chem.
Yeah, no, it's still good. Yeah, no, it's fun. Good luck.
Hell yeah. I can see the adjustments on my hair when I do it.
Yeah, look guys. I barely looked at the camera, honestly.
I didn't look at all. Yeah.
Don't know if I actually did. I don't know either.
Shout out Twitch.
Yeah, shout out Twitch.
Men's hoops.
I can host this one.
Yeah. Please do.
How long are we breaking until?
What?
How long do we break until?
Go to we'll go back at 20-ish, so go until 30. Yeah. Feel toes.
So the only transfers that have happened this week are Luke Wilson, which was yesterday or 2 days.
I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah.
And that's the only one this week, right?
Yeah, but I think just kind of an overall conversation.
Talking about the roster, starting lineups.
Yeah, and then maybe just
About that.
what do we think about next
What
year?
the problems are now.
Yeah.
This roster.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's good.
Sure. I like it.
You don't have to keep it that long of a block. 'Cause we're
I agree.
20, so we've got
10 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah. You want a date night tonight?
Yeah, I actually am.
Oh, same.
Dude, I
Let's
haven't
go.
been in for a long time.
Yeah?
So I was like, why not? I might as well.
Hell yeah. Are you taking anyone or?
I'm just going with one of my boys.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
so.
it's good.
Are you taking your girlfriend or?
I'm taking Abby Tolchin.
Who's Abby?
She's the sophomore on PLG for a while. Yeah, my girlfriend and I broke up like a month ago.
Shoot, I'm so sorry.
Hey,
totally my bad, dude.
Dude, we need to catch up more.
We do. That's so bad.
But now the Twitch audience.
So bad.
It's okay, Twitch audience. Hello, Riley. Sometimes when life gives you lemons.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Now you got another
gotta go over to
person
oranges.
you can hang out with tonight. So.
Like you.
Yeah.
Timmy Weiss.
Yeah, no, it'll be a good time. Good time for sure.
Being like playing up and stone. There we go. Maybe that's better. Hello? That's weird.
$97.7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Newhouse Afternoon rolls on. It's Timmy Weiss alongside Drew Albaugh on ESPN 97.7. We've talked a whole lot about the lacrosse team and big games for Syracuse men's lacrosse and Syracuse women's lacrosse coming up this weekend. But Syracuse men's basketball is in the midst of the transfer portal.
Dun, dun, dun. You can hear the music
in the background. It's a lot of chaos, you could say, and a lot of changes that happen. The Orange now with 8 players coming in, 5 transfers and 3 players they've recruited since Jerry McNamara has taken over for the Orange. So really a lot of change that's going on with this team. And I want to start, Drew, with the get they got the other day. A couple days ago, center Luke Wilson comes in from Appalachian State, and it's a really good get for the Orange.
Oh, yeah. Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year last season, averaged 10 points a game, almost double-digit rebounds as well. Big, strong, physical, 6'9", can high point the ball with the rest of them in a rebounding type scenario. This current landscape of college basketball, it's all about getting as many shots up as possible, right? It's not, you can boil down everything you want. How you shoot is going to fluctuate, but how you rebound is a consistency that you can bring in day to day, and I think Luke Wilson does that for Syracuse.
That's really big because that was something Syracuse struggled with last season, along with a lot of other things that they struggled with, but he helped this team with the Mountaineers play pretty well towards the end of the season. They started 4-4 in Sun Belt play, Then they went on a 7-game win streak, and he had 3 double-doubles during that streak. So he's had some success. The other thing that he brings to the table is this guy can dunk the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He can
He's an athlete.
slam them home. He's like William Kyle coming back to the Orange almost. Maybe not as athletic as William Kyle.
Maybe a little bit better of a free throw shooter, though.
That's also true. But he had 46 slams last year, which ranked 3rd in the Sun Belt. So would have been 8th in the ACC. So ironically as well, he was 1 spot behind another former Appalachian State big, which was Wake Forest Trevon Spillers. So a lot of ACC connection with guys coming over from Appalachian State. I think the worry, though, is that Syracuse still is lacking a little bit of offensive production with this team and the transfers coming in.
Well, it still feels like, I think Luke Wilson's a great pickup, by the way.
And right now, it looks like he's going to slot in as the starting center for his team.
Right. And one of the better pickups that, quite frankly, I think Jerry McNamara has had so far. There's not a true point guard on this team.
That's a big concern. It's a really big concern.
Replace Nate George, who you can say all you want about Nate George, still had, over 5 assists a game.
Right now, it's probably Garway Dual.
Right.
As the starting point guard.
And do you feel confident about that?
I don't feel great because I don't want to knock on Garway Dual. I think it's a great get for Syracuse, and he's a solid player, but he doesn't score the ball much. He's more of a defensive, gritty player style, and he averaged over 4 assists per game last year with McNeese, which is good. But it's not really your true point guard at the Syracuse level, the standard of the ACC. Can he take that jump up from McNeese? And you hope that with coaching from Jerry McNamara that he can help him with that. But it is a stretch for sure.
It is. And, he was at Seton Hall a couple years ago. He was a 4-star when he exited high school, now just a 3-star transfer. So his stock has fallen just a tick since he first burst onto the scene. But this is still a guy who is going to contribute in a big way. And I think he would have been a great 6th, 7th man for me. I don't know.
Well, there's time left still.
And
you hope.
There's still a couple of guys left on the roster
right.
that you can fill in. But with McNeese last season, didn't even start in all the games. So,
didn't have that many minutes as well. I think career high 26.5, around 26.5 minutes per game.
And averaged
crazy.
Just north of 8 points on 45% shooting, which is solid. There's a lot of underlying factors which point to DeWall being a good pickup for Syracuse. I don't know if he's the answer as far as, do you give DeWall the ball in his hands at the end of the game?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know if you could do that.
I don't know. So, he could shock me. He's 6'5", a bigger guy, good frame, who's now in his 4th year of college. So those are good things, right? You look around and you say, am I going to trust an 18-year-old fresh out of high school who might be quote-unquote better prospects?
Ryan Mesh, are you referring to here, basically?
Yeah, those types of guys. It makes me think of the Oakland versus Kentucky game a few years ago, where Kentucky had all these NBA guys, but they're all 18 years old.
That's the case with Kentucky almost every year.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. But Oakland had these 24-year-old, 6th-year grad students at that point, where it's like, it doesn't matter how they were out of high school because they've had 5 years. That's kind of the argument for DeWall, I think. So we'll have to see what happens here. But I've been a little underwhelmed with the transfer portal. I don't think it's been a complete failure, but you've definitely lost more than you've gained.
The main concern for me, Drew, is, I think you're right that the talent on paper is not as good as last year.
Which is a concern because how did last year's team do?
Right, and you could argue with better coaching, they obviously could have been much better. But with a roster worse than last season, how is Syracuse expected to be better? And the main concern for me right now is the team lacks proven shooters. Mm-hmm. You have Gavin Doty and Dual.
Who's a shooter, yeah.
He's from 3-point though.
That's true. But
both
his
sub
fadeaway
32% career 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
So, inside the paint a little bit better.
Doty's mid-range is tough.
I mean, even other guys that are going to be in this, Luke Wilson has not attempted a 3 as a college basketball player.
Yeah.
And you have Tasman Goodrick. He's attempted just 1 shot from 3-point range in his 2 seasons. That's a guy that Syracuse got recently in the transfer portal. And it just worries me because Kyan Anthony as well, he wasn't a great three-point shooter last year, made just 25% from deep. And Sadiq White shot a little bit better, but he only made 7 threes the whole season. So I don't know. It worries me, the shooting. You have to score buckets if you want to win these games.
The Slovenian, though, Mamutovic, he's an X factor where you don't entirely know what you're going to get.
Totally know.
But he's a 6'7" guard that can shoot with the best of them on the wing. So he can let it fly. We'll have to see how much it translates, though, from Europe over to here to the U.S.
You don't know if it's going to translate. And
you don't.
It's a total question mark.
But
and
I
you hope
like McNamara's odds of getting the most
I
out
agree
of
with
him
you on that.
and
I was just about to
squeezing
say, I think he can make him into a great player. And that's what's very exciting.
And he's been playing professionals for a few years now. So he's played good talent, right? He's one of the U18 stars over for that Slovenian team. And he's played professional basketball for a couple years now. Playing those types of talents where you're playing 30-year-old guys, that helps you prepare for college.
It does. So, it's a different jump to come over and playing against guys that are maybe more athletic
style,
and totally different style. Probably not as physical as those other players that you played against over in Europe. So his transition will definitely be interesting. But I think the one thing we're getting at, Drew, is Syracuse needs someone else still. Yeah. They need another transfer.
Got a couple of roster spots still open.
Right, and there is time, and there are people that are out there. Just recently, actually, there was 5-star point guard Dylan Mingo. He decommitted from North Carolina. That's a possible one that the Orange could look out for because he played at the same high school as Kyan Anthony. So that's someone I think that would be an incredible pull for Syracuse, and I hope Kyan Anthony can kind of work his magic to see if he could convince him or something. We'll see. But without someone else, I don't see how Syracuse can be much of a better team than last season.
It would be the coaching, right? If you really believe that is such a big factor, that's what you could point to. But you're right. I think there's a lot of question marks, and quite frankly, I don't think we're going to have a lot of answers until late October, early November rolls around.
A whole lot of time until the season starts for Syracuse men's basketball. Well, there's a lot of playoffs going on right now in New York sports. The Sabres taking on the Bruins tonight. The Knicks taking on the Hawks tonight. We got all that and more on Newhouse Afternoon up until 4 o'clock.
Bang. Good stuff. Oh, yeah. Host Timmy.
Let's go. Back, baby. So back. So back.
Let's go. So how was your Boston college trip? Tell me a little bit about it.
It was a lot of fun. We
Did you spend the night?
I stayed at my house with DNAP.
How long?
It was fun. 25 minutes. I met his parents because his parents came to the game.
Oh, cool.
And his dad took us out to dinner to the Cheesecake Factory after.
Hell yeah.
So that was nice.
That's
we showed up to Cheesecake Factory in our suits, which is hilarious. And it was good. We played 18 holes of golf in the morning before the game.
That's awesome.
I took him out to my the country club I belong to, and we played 18 holes. So
that's awesome.
That was pretty sick.
Is it a nice course?
Yeah, it's a good course. So. And it was really nice. Yeah, and it was a really nice day. So it was 70. So.
Man.
Yeah, it was a sick trip, honestly.
That's great.
It was very fun. The game obviously was unfortunate that they didn't play well, but it was still really cool. There's a lot of fans there.
Really?
I get into it. It was in the football stadium, so obviously it doesn't look like there's that many people, but it's loud.
That's good.
They
probably
were
echoed throughout
they were getting into it, so.
That's cool.
I got a cut during the game on my finger, and I started bleeding all over my board. It was nuts. Yeah, I'll show you.
How did you get a cut?
It was, I don't know, to be honest.
It's the side of your board.
It was wild though. And
is Jack also from the area?
Yeah, he's from an hour and a half away in Central Mass.
Their parents just came just to.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Look at this.
Oh,
I know.
that's nasty.
Called it the Kurt Schilling game.
Yeah.
For broadcast.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna roll through some Knicks.
Yeah. Do you want to do Knicks first, or do you want to do
Probably.
Yeah, you can. I think it's
Knicks,
smarter for you to host
yeah.
that, and then I host.
I'll do Knicks.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. I can also, if we needed some time, I can quickly touch on Yankees too.
True. Or Mets.
Yeah.
So,
We don't need to like.
That's a brutal.
Yeah. We don't need to like dive deep into any of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Did the Mets finally win?
I don't know.
They win yesterday.
Unless they won yesterday.
They did.
They did.
Broke it.
So they broke the 12 game skid. 12 games?
It was something like that.
I think it was 12 games.
The Mets in the 8th out of 8.
Okay, cool. We were worried we were on for a second. I was like, oh shoot.
We just
did
couldn't hear
miss it?
anything. We were like,
Yeah, we didn't hear any like ads. We were like,
thanks for that stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
We were talking about the Mets. And then,
Yeah.
okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah. That's actually so insane.
No.
Mariners are doing tough right now. Great right now. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kind of middling.
Yeah.
Not great.
.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back here to Q Sports Talk Newhouse Afternoon. 97.7 ESPN up until 4. It's Drew Alba alongside Timmy Weiss. We've been talking a lot on the Hill. We got to move to the pro sports as well, though, because this is an exciting time. You have both the Mets and the Yankees obviously playing on the diamond. The Sabres, who's pretty much never a storyline.
First time since 2011 they're at the playoffs. So yeah, that's pretty big deal for New York, I would say.
All right, at this point in April, still talking about the Sabres. And then the Knicks tied up at 1 game apiece against the Atlanta Hawks. Game 3 tonight at 7. And credit to Atlanta, right, where a lot of people thought that the Knicks were going to maybe run away with this thing, especially, after the Knicks take a commanding, 9 or 10 point lead in that first quarter of game 2. Atlanta kind of just keeps responding, and in that fourth quarter outscores the Knicks by double digits and evens the series up to go back to Atlanta and State Farm Arena.
I mean, it's pretty embarrassing for the Knicks that they lost that game.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. You blew a 12-point lead
Right.
against the Hawks, who are an okay team. They're not great
CJ
by any
McCollum
means.
looked like
He did look like the truth the other day. 32 points.
he looked like LeBron there for a second.
he was stepping up big time. The other thing that CJ McCollum was doing is he was going at Jalen Brunson. Brunson had no chance against
Brunson's
CJ McCollum.
defense has always been suspect.
And McCollum did a great job of just figure out how to get that one-on-one matchup against Brunson, and it was working.
And it's
9
tough.
of 12 against Brunson the other day.
And it's tough because Brunson is so good offensively that you can't justify taking him off the court. He puts up 29 points again. I will say it's 10 of 26 shooting. So,
And he was really the only guy that was stepping up for the Knicks down the stretch in that game.
But that's still not great numbers. Yes, you have 29, but 10 of 26, you're hucking the ball at that point. And defensively, I mean, I don't know if he could guard his own shadow sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's tough, right? CJ McCollum is making Jalen Brunson not look like an NBA quality defender pretty much every possession at this point. Now, I think the Knicks are more talented at other facets, but this is a big one, right?
It's huge.
For
Honestly,
obvious reasons.
Drew, I think it's a must win for the Knicks. If you go down 2-1 in Atlanta,
And then Atlanta has a chance to clinch it in game.
I mean, if they go down 3-1, it's over probably. I don't think the Knicks are going to come back if they're down 3-1.
Nope. Totally agree. I'm worried for the Knicks here, just a little bit. I think you take that one, you go up 2-0, go into Atlanta, you can pretty much sign, seal, and deliver that one for the Knicks. But at this point, you have to think about all of the options that goes into it. And the Hawks, I think, are kind of playing with house money to a certain degree.
They're the underdog. There's a lot of young guys on this team that are playing with athleticism and fight that is honestly the reason they won the game in game 2. The Knicks didn't have that same intensity as the Hawks players brought. And the fact that the Hawks don't have much pressure on them, they're a young team. They don't even have Trae Young. They're not expected to do well. And they're going out there and just playing with their hearts, and it's working right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the Knicks definitely still the favorites. Don't get me wrong. New York shouldn't feel like...
I think the Knicks, if they play their best basketball, the Hawks have no chance.
Right, agreed. But will they play their best basketball consistently? Only time will tell. The winner of that one, of course, will play...
Likely the Boston Celtics.
Right, or
it could be the 76ers. You never know.
After taking that game, too.
I think the Celtics will be all right.
You're a Celtics fan,
yeah.
Jimmy.
I'm not worried.
You weren't worried at all?
No, I'm not worried.
What if Joel Embiid comes back?
I'm not worried because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown contributed for almost all of the points that the Celtics had. It was almost 90 of the Celtics' points were because of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or an assist that they gave. The rest of the team was doing nothing. And the Celtics have a very strong depth on their team.
Like Pritchard can get a bucket at any time.
White can get a bucket a lot of times as well. He had a bad game in game 2. So the Celtics will be okay.
Okay.
But the Knicks, I think there's something to worry about because of the pressure that's going on. And I think you could make the case that maybe the Knicks aren't as great as we thought because things reset in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Everything's new season. The Knicks in the playoffs so far haven't been strong.
A little
and you could say the Celtics, same thing, right? They lose game 2, but they've been there and they've done that with this squad. A couple years ago, of course, winning the NBA Finals. The Knicks haven't proved it with this squad. I mean, they might have made the semifinals last year, but still, I think there's a new level and new step they need to take leadership-wise to show themselves that they belong.
Yeah, the Knicks are putting their money where their mouth is right now. Because the expectation is making the NBA championship. If you can't get past the Hawks, then that's definitely not a recipe for success.
And the good thing for the Knicks is they match up with the Celtics well. So if they do make it to the next round, which they should,
that'll be fun.
It's going to be a great matchup for them. They, on paper, don't think they're better than the Celtics. The Celtics have a more talented roster, but
more
Knicks,
deep, I'd say, for sure.
More deep and just, deep, more experienced. But the Knicks match up well against the Celtics, and that series really would be epic.
It kind of comes down to, can Jalen Brunson outperform what he gives away defensively? To me, at least. Can CJ McCollum exploit Brunson's defense enough where...
It's also, is CJ McCollum going to keep dropping over 30 points in a game?
I don't know. He's revived his career here with Atlanta. Yeah. All right, so we've been talking some basketball. That game is, of course, tonight at 7, Game 3 between the Hawks and the Knicks. Then it's time to move over to the Diamond really quick before we're going to talk some Sabres in the next block, because the Yankees talk about a little Boston-New York matchup. They did it on the Diamond. Yankees got it done 4-1 over the Red Sox and have won 2 of 3 against the Red Sox. And, of course, a 3-game set, first pitch set for 6 p.m. Yanks on a little bit of a heater. My goodness, New York with 5 straight victories.
And that was after the Yankees were struggling a lot. There were some questions with them going on a pretty bad skid.
Yep. Lost 5 or 6 of 8.
They've totally turned it around now. And against the Red Sox, mean, they've totally shut him out. The Red Sox have scored 1 run in 2 games against New York. It's
not ideal.
been domination.
And the 1 run was in
honestly.
the 9th inning last night.
The Red Sox haven't had much of a chance in either of these games. Yankees have been running away. It's very early in the season, and there's so much time for teams to change. But Red Sox are on the downhill right now, and Yankees are on the up.
We'll talk about teams that fans maybe hope change. The Mets.
Yes.
Finally. I mean, my goodness, you can practically hear the trumpets and the angels coming down.
I don't know if it's trumpets. I think they're just, wow, okay, I guess we actually
relief
won
more
a
so.
game. Relief,
After 12
maybe?
straight losses, the New York Mets get a 3-2 victory over the Twins last night. It was the bottom of the 8th that got it done for New York.
It's almost like a
And
pity win.
sigh of relief. 8-16. You know, I know everyone says the season's over. It probably is, but
It's not over.
It's not over.
They're 8-6. They're 8 games below 500.
yeah, it's just
Obviously, it's not a good start. But there is so much time. The season is never over in April in any scenario.
Right.
And the Mets have decent talent on their roster.
8-4 at one point.
Right? So there is no way you can say the season is over at this point. The Mets will be
I've been hearing
okay
that
if
from
they
Mets
can figure
fans.
it out.
I've been hearing that from Mets fans that the season's over.
I think that's extreme to say that. I think that's very extreme.
12 straight.
Hey, they won the other day.
That's not good at all. And finally,
As long as they don't do it again.
yeah,
They do it again, then the season's over.
Okay, one more 12-game losing streak.
That will
would be enough for
definitely
you?
do it.
All right. The Mets play tonight against the Twins at 7. Drew Alba alongside Timmy Weiss here on Newhouse Afternoon up until 4, just about 15 more minutes left. But before we wrap up shop, we got to talk some Sabres. Maybe the most exciting team in the area. Buffalo back in the playoffs and trying to win a playoff series. Game 3 against the Bruins tonight. We'll talk about that right here on Newhouse Afternoon. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Let's close it out, baby. Here we go.
Here we go.
What time do we have to be off the air?
It's like right around 3:59 to 4.
Okay, cool.
I need that time. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. All right. Great. Cool.
I'm a hustler.
Of course, you had to bring up the Yankees Red Sox. Trying to avoid that.
Oh, goodness. How do you feel about your Red Sox? Kind of.
Bad start. I mean, it's frustrating right now.
I mean,
The
yeah.
offense
You guys are
is-
one game better than the Mets.
Yeah, it's frustrating right now. They have just.
What
they
was the
can't hit
expectations
right now.
going in?
Very good.
Really?
Expected to be one of the best teams in the American League. So were the Mariners, probably,
Yeah,
right? I think
yeah.
the Red Sox, Mariners, Yankees, Blue Jays.
It
is who
doesn't
people
feel
would
as
have
bad
said.
because the Mariners are only 2.5 of the division right now.
Yeah.
Because our division's just so mid.
But going into the season, that's probably the 4 teams that
Yeah.
people would be like, yeah, those are the
Right.
those are
Yeah.
the teams.
Yeah, no, I'm not happy with the Mariners right now.
Yeah.
But 4 games or 11-15, so
Yeah.
we're
Not great.
1-8 away.
1-8?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Damn.
10-7 at home.
Yeah, 1-8 away is crazy.
No, we need to figure that out.
Yeah. Wow.
Sooner rather than later, as
Yeah.
they say.
It's early though. It's early.
It's early.
Gotta keep hope.
I think the Dodgers are just going to win the whole thing anyways.
I kind of agree, but yeah. I mean, if they, yeah,
The Braves look
Pretty
good. 18-8.
yeah. I didn't realize they were that good. Wow.
8-2 in their last 10. The Cubs have won
Dodgers
9 of their
are.
last
What are
10.
the Dodgers? 16-8. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
Padres are also
kinda
16-8.
middle.
The Padres are good.
Yeah. I mean, Dodgers have lost 4 of the last 5.
4 of the last 5.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think of Anthony?
I mean, he's gonna be fine, of
Yeah.
course. Like he is a stud.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not worried. I mean, he's.
Hey,
second-year
he had a
player.
good third at home. the other day.
Yeah, finally. It took him long enough.
Yeah.
He's figured. I don't know what was going on early in the season. Hopefully that's not an actual problem. But early in the season, he literally couldn't make a throw at all.
I know. It was bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I was like, is he enough?
I think he'll be okay. It was really weird.
But he had a cannon the other day. So,
yeah.
So
there was some video of him at a bar before the game yesterday. So I don't know if that's good luck. But,
wow.
Yeah.
Before the Yankees game?
At Monday night, or not Monday night, Tuesday night after they played.
Oh, after they played.
And then game Wednesday. So I don't know.
He was I
don't know.
It's free will. How old is he?
He's 21, I believe. Or maybe 22. I think he's 21.
That's crazy.
Let's see. He is 21.
It's crazy these guys are our age now.
He is younger than, or no, he is older than me. But his birthday is in about a month.
For 22?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I was about to say he's younger than me, but he's not.
He's just younger than me.
What's your birthday again?
August 30th.
30th.
22. Crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I know. Having these guys that are our age is so weird.
Dang.
Maybe we should just play professional baseball for a living.
Yeah.
I heard they play.
Yeah, we should just do that, right?
I heard they pay pretty well.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea. Probably just walk out there and try out. Right?
Yeah, wait. I can throw from left field and on a few bounces.
Not that hard.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty easy. You ever play baseball?
Yeah. I'm honestly I was really good defensively.
Yeah, same.
Hitting was always hard. I mean, I guess hitting's just hard for anyone, but.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back for 10 final minutes here on Newhouse Afternoon. It's Timmy Weiss alongside Drew Albaugh here on ESPN 97.7. Drew, you hinted at it a bit just a couple minutes ago. Bruins versus Sabres, Game 3.
Here we go.
In Boston at 7 tonight. And man, is this a big one for Buffalo. Lost Game 2, 4-2. Didn't play a good game, and now have to come win at TD Garden tonight.
And the Sabres, that was after Buffalo stole Game 1.
Yeah,
because
totally stole it.
The whole
down 2-0 in the third period. Come back. We're only up for the last 3 minutes of the game.
Right.
And win it 4-3.
Yeah.
Bruins tacked on an empty netter along with Buffalo. Or Buffalo tacked on an empty netter. Bruins scored one at the end that didn't matter. But then you come out Game 2 and the Bruins took it to them.
Yeah, they really did. And very easily could be down 2-0 because the Bruins put the foot on the gas.
Buffalo's only led for 3 minutes of this entire series.
Right. So honestly, the Sabres should feel somewhat fortunate that you're going into TD Garden tied at 1 apiece.
I will say, though,
no Josh Allen chugging beers in the crowd this time around either. So.
No Buffalo crowd that is absolutely nuts behind you.
I wish I could go to a game.
I know.
It sounds.
We'll see. I might consider going to a game sometime soon.
Spoiler alert: you're a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how many people listening on the radio appreciate. I'll
probably don't appreciate me much.
I'm rooting all Sabres all the way. I mean.
If I wasn't a Bruins fan, I'd be rooting for the Sabres because it's just such an awesome story. And the fact that they haven't been there since 2011 is so cool.
Haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years.
It's been forever.
I believe.
And honestly, I think Sabres fans don't even know how to act because they haven't seen. I mean, all these people that are our age, Drew, at Syracuse who are Sabres fans, they don't even remember the Sabres being in the playoffs. They can't even remember what it was like.
That's what it was like for me as a Mariners fan for a while there.
Right.
It was 2001, and they waited until 2021. So, I know how it feels. And the Sabres, it's great to get there. It's even better to win a series.
It is. And if they want to win the series, a big thing always in playoff hockey comes down to your goalie. And that's the one thing that the Sabres have not had the best of so
Right.
far this series. Luukkonen was pulled in the third period after the Bruins scored 10 seconds into that period and didn't have a good second period. There was one goal, I don't know if you got a chance to see it. Morgan Geekie for the Bruins shot a backhand from half ice, just trying to dump it in, and it bounced off the ice over the goalie's glove into the back of the net. And
something that can't happen in this level.
you could blame, the luck, and that's what head coach Lindy Ruff said after the game, and that it was a little bit lucky that happened and whatever. But you can't make mistakes like that in the playoffs. That made it a 2-0 game, and the Bruins basically cruised afterwards. Buffalo had a near comeback towards the end of that game. You can't make mistakes like that.
No, not at all. Especially where the margins are so thin, right? These are two teams that both sides good. I wouldn't say they're the favorites to win the whole thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Buffalo is an interesting story because they had a really good regular season, and the Bruins.
But the talent, I don't.
They
you know
have
what
talent.
I mean? Yes,
They've done a great job this season. I don't think anyone doubts that they're a good team. But no one has any idea if this team can perform in the playoffs.
Right.
And right now, as of 2 games into the playoffs, the same question is there.
But you're tied at 1 apiece, right? And you go back to Boston, and that'll be an electric atmosphere. Have you ever been to a playoff hockey game?
I have.
It's
awesome.
Have you been in TD Garden?
Yes, and it is awesome. And Buffalo, they're gonna be.
So how do you think that'll play a factor?
It will play a factor because the Garden really gets into it for Boston hockey. I mean, Boston's, of course, a huge hockey town.
Yeah.
They love it. And it's going to play a difference because the Sabres have had so much crowd noise behind them. I mean, what you've heard it in Buffalo. We were just talking about how we want to go to a game.
Some of that Bills Mafia coming over.
I think all of them must have come over to see the Sabres.
Including Josh
They had nothing
Allen.
else going on with the Bills being out. And, I mean, it's tough because they might be seeing a similar story to the Bills.
Yeah.
And choking in the playoffs. I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
We'll
You're
see.
saying that because you're a Bruins fan.
I'm not just saying it because I'm a Bruins fan. I do think that goalie play is the difference in this series. And the interesting thing for the game tonight is if the Sabres will play Luukkonen again. There is a serious question if he's going to start. Alex Lyon came into the game, didn't give up a goal, and actually at practice the other day, Lindy Ruff said that he didn't know really who he was going to start. It's always something that's going to be changing, and everyone needs to be ready. So I'm interested to see if they go with Luukkonen or Lyon, and that could be the decider because the Bruins have been getting good goalie play from Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah.
He's been a stud for most of the series. He had one bad goal in Game 1, but other than that, he's been good. And that's why the Bruins have tied this series at 1.
Yep, we'll have to see what goes down as far as the goalie play. Lyon, has had a long career with the Red Wings and the Flyers, starter primarily for the Red Wings. And then here with the Sabres, he could be the difference maker if he comes in. Do you, as a Bruins fan, feel more or less confident after these 2 games than before the series?
Probably more confident.
Right.
Because
I feel like you have to.
The Bruins won 1 of 2 in Buffalo.
And that's what you're looking for.
That's good.
You're
That's
looking to split.
A great job by the Bruins, especially in games where the offense hasn't done all that much. I mean, Luukkonen had 4 goals allowed on 15 saves. So the Bruins haven't gotten that many shots. And Buffalo has probably had majority of the better play. But the Bruins have still snuck out a win, and now they come back home to the TD Garden, and you have to feel good about that as a Bruins fan. So the one thing that Buffalo has to solve, though, Drew, is the power play. They literally cannot score on a power play. Here's the stat of the day. If
The stat of the day.
Stat of the day.
Everybody, here we
with
go.
3 minutes to go in Newhouse afternoon.
Stat of the day with Timmy Wells.
Right here. If the Sabres' last 30 power plays were a 60-minute game, they would lose 2-0. That means 60 minutes of power play. They had 2
That's a
shorthanded
great stat.
goals scored against them. That is how bad. For their last 30 on power plays. I mean, you can't win games when you're not ever
That
scoring on
sounds
power play.
almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
Wow.
Stat of the day.
Never. I love
Yeah.
it. 2-0 loss over the last, what is it, 30 power plays?
30 power plays, which is 60 minutes,
Of
exact time of full game.
Straight
So,
hockey. There
it's
you go.
Pretty unbelievable. I mean, we've had a lot of fun on this show, Drew. We've gotten to talk a whole lot about Syracuse.
Oh, yeah.
Men's basketball, Syracuse men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse. I mean, if you had
We've
to
kind
get
of touched on all
we've
of it.
gotten all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're lucky. There's so much to talk about right now.
Oh, yeah. Men's basketball we threw in there
Yeah,
as well.
there's a whole lot that we've been able to talk about.
I'm
on
looking
this show.
forward to simulcasting the Knicks and the Sabres tonight.
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it should be good.
I will be watching the Bruins game for sure, but it is going to be a battle. Who do you think is going to win in both those games?
I think Boston takes it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Your game 3, you come back a little bit of a deflating
Bruins
loss.
are actually favored in
right.
this game.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And then I think the Knicks take it against Atlanta.
I think the Knicks are going to bounce back as well. I think it's concerning, and the Hawks aren't going to be an easy out, but they're the better team. They should take care of business against the Hawks. Well, that's pretty much all we got for you on Newhouse Afternoon.
Thanks for filling in, Timmy. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back. It's great to be back. It's been an awesome day so far. We hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Timmy Weiss and Drew Albaugh signing off.